All right, let's talk about wealth. I mean, really talk about it. We're going to dive into a pretty big topic today, but we're going to make it simple. We are boiling down 100 rules of wealth into one powerful philosophy, a roadmap for building a life that's truly free. Let's kick things off with what might be the single most important rule of them all. Seriously, just for a minute, forget about the Lamborghinis and the giant bank balances. This one idea completely changes the game. See, true wealth isn't a number you chase. It's freedom. It's the ability to wake up and decide how you spend your day, who you spend it with, and what you want to work on. In a word, it's about having options.
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you actually get there? I'll tell you right now, it's not some secret handshake or a lucky lottery ticket. It's about a fundamental shift in how you think, how you act, and the systems you build. And that is exactly what we are going to break down step by step.
Okay, so our journey has to start with knowing the destination. I mean, think about it. Before you can build anything, you've got to have a blueprint, right? You have to know what you're building towards. So this first part is all about that revelation, seeing wealth in a completely new light.
Okay, let's break down two words that people use interchangeably all the time: rich and wealthy. They are not the same thing. According to rule number 6, being rich is about having money, right? It's often tied to a high income. But being wealthy, that's about having time. Picture a surgeon who makes $1 million a year but works 80-hour weeks. That person is rich, for sure, but they have zero time. They're a slave to their own success. The real goal is to be wealthy, where your assets, your money, work for you, buying you the freedom to own your own time.
And this is what that freedom actually looks like in the real world. You know, financial freedom isn't really about being able to say yes to buying a new yacht. It's about having the incredible, life-changing power to say no. No to that job you can't stand. No to that client who just drains all your energy. No to anything and everything that messes with your peace of mind. That is the ultimate luxury. All right, so we've got our destination clear. Now it's time to pour the foundation. Because I'm telling you, before you make a single investment, before you even open a brokerage account, the real work happens right up here, between your ears. Building wealth is first and foremost a mental game. The numbers game comes second. And at the very core of this mental game are these two totally opposite mindsets. The scarcity mindset sees the world as a pie with only so many slices. If someone else gets a big slice, that means there's less for you. It's driven by fear of losing out. But the abundance mindset, it's a game changer. It operates from the belief that there's more than enough success to go around. It sees opportunities, partnerships, and growth everywhere. And this isn't just some fluffy, positive thinking mantra. It is a massive strategic advantage. And here's a perfect example of that advantage in action. When the stock market tanks and everybody is freaking out, selling everything in a panic, that's the scarcity mindset running the show. The abundance mindset, though, sees the exact same event completely differently. They see it as a massive clearance sale, a rare opportunity to buy fantastic, high-quality assets for pennies on the dollar. It's the same event, but two totally different realities, all driven by mindset. One person is terrified and loses their shirt. The other is excited and lays the foundation for a future fortune. So this abundance mindset, it's not just one thing. It's really built on these key pillars. First, a relentless commitment to self-education, because your formal schooling will make you a living, but it's self-education that will make you a fortune. Then there's discipline, which is the bridge that gets you from where you are to where you want to be. You have to have patience, the ability to play the long game when everyone else wants instant gratification. And maybe most importantly, you need the emotional strength to stand your ground and ignore the herd when they start running off a cliff. Okay, the mindset foundation is poured and it's solid. Now it's time to build the engine. This is where we get practical. This is the how-to part, where we turn that philosophy into a real working system. A machine that starts working for you so eventually you don't have to. Now, the very first rule of building this machine is so simple, but so many people miss it. Wealth is not a lottery ticket. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme. That stuff is for suckers, and it's fleeting. The real goal, like rule number 4 says, is to build get-rich-forever systems. We're talking about repeatable, scalable processes that generate wealth predictably, year after year. So what does one of these systems actually look like? Well, it all starts with 3 absolutely non-negotiable habits. Number 1, you pay yourself first. Before the rent, before the car payment, before anything else. You take a piece of your income and send it straight to your investments. This makes your future freedom the number 1 priority. Number 2, you automate the whole thing.
Set up automatic transfers so your wealth is growing in the background without you even thinking about it. And number 3, you stay in the market. You focus on time in the market, not timing the market. You just stay invested through the good times and the bad. And that last habit, staying in the market, is so critical because it unleashes the most powerful force in the universe of finance: compounding. Rule 21 describes it perfectly. It's like this slow magic. At first, it's almost boring, A tiny bit of growth earns a tiny bit more. But over years, over decades, that slow, steady process starts to snowball and accelerate like crazy, turning that small puddle of your initial investment into a massive ocean of wealth. It's unbelievable, and all it asks for in return is time. So as you're building this system, you need to know where to point your money. Every single dollar you have is a little soldier, and you have 2 choices for where to send it. You can buy assets, things that put money back into your pocket, effectively buying you more time and freedom. Think stocks, real estate, a business. Or you can buy liabilities, things that suck money out of your pocket, costing you time. That brand new car with a huge monthly payment, a classic liability. The wealthy are absolutely relentless about one thing: acquiring assets. And this brings us to the final and I think the most important part of this whole discussion. We've talked about the mindset. We've talked about building the machine. But what is it all for? What is the ultimate purpose of all this work? This quote from rule number 13 puts the problem in the clearest, most brutal terms possible. This is the why. Because if the only way you make money is by trading your hours for dollars, you're on a treadmill you can literally never get off of. The entire purpose of building that money machine is to create income streams that are totally separate from your time, to, quite literally, make money while you sleep. And here it is, the beautiful solution, the whole point of this entire journey. You build these systems, you accumulate these assets, not to buy more stuff, but to buy back your single most precious, non-renewable resource, your time. That's the real prize. The freedom to spend your seconds, your minutes, and your hours on the people, the projects, and the passions that give your life real meaning and joy. And ultimately, all of this brings us right here. The end goal isn't a number in a bank account. It's a feeling. It's the deep, profound peace of mind that Rule 99 talks about. It's that quiet confidence that comes from knowing you owe nothing to anyone and that your money is out there working for you around the clock, securing your freedom. That feeling, that is the greatest wealth there is. So we've covered a ton of ground here, right? From mindset to the mechanics of building, all the way to the ultimate meaning behind it all. But you have to remember rule number 10. Creating wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. This whole journey starts with just one single step. So after everything we've broken down today, the only question left is the one right there on the screen. What will your first